Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
For the identity of the real Marty Levinson, please stay tuned for the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet Hope, Chicago. 2 is 4, 4 4 6. Come on, baby, now get your business fixed. Come on.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers. I did that good. Only one so far.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the World Wide Web at www.ntnm.org, where if you miss our show weekly, which is throughout Chicago and in 35 to 40 north and northwest suburbs, on either channel 19 or 35, or if you're on AT&T Uverse, it's 99. It gets a little more complicated. If you go to ntnm.org, you'll get the entire schedule. We're very big on community policing. Sonny Hirsch, in his spare time, is chairman of the district advisory of the 24th District. You can get all the information for the 24th District at caps24.org. And we want to commend Commander James Roussel for doing his best to keep community policing alive, and he's succeeding. And want to remind you that Jewish Chicago is going to be coming out for your early voting pleasure in mid-October, so just keep that in mind for now. It is a pleasure to introduce to you one of the most respected, if not the most respected, Jewish judge on the bench, certainly somebody who I hear nothing but good things about, and somebody who's a pleasure to talk to and very intelligent and all the rest of it. But rather than me go into it, I'll let you see for yourself. And by the way, so we're talking about Appellate Court Judge Robert Gordon. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, my pleasure. And people don't realize, first of all, people don't realize a lot of things about the court system. And I hope that a lot of the people that tune in here who are more attuned to the judicial things know a bit more. But explain to us, what is the appellate court, and what is the difference between being an appellate court judge and a regular judge?
Well, the appellate court is a court of review. And when we have a case, we sit with 3 justices who hear the case and decide the case. Where a judge who's sitting in the circuit court, it's one judge who decides the case. So it's totally different. A judge in the circuit court hears evidence. They make credibility determinations as to whether they believe a witness or do not believe a witness. We merely look at records and hear arguments concerning appeals. And that's what the appellate court does. And the circuit court, of course, is a court where only one judge sits and decides a case.
And you sit in the appellate court as 3?
Well, there are 3 justices on each case. There is 6 divisions in the 1st District, which is located in Chicago. And there are 4 justices in each division, and 3 justices sit on a case. And one is the author, and the other 2 have to agree. Somebody could dissent if they want to dissent, and it takes 2 people to be able to get a case decision passed.
Does the same kind of mindset it takes to be a circuit court judge also work in the appellate court, or is it a different sort of personality?
Well, I think it's probably the same personality. That's not where the difference is. There's a lot of action in the circuit court. You're dealing with lawyers every day. When you sit in the appellate court, you're doing research and you're writing decisions, and the only time you ever see a lawyer or wear a robe is when you have an oral argument. One day a week, I wear a robe. where in the circuit court I wore a robe for an entire day. So there's quite a difference.
Now, do you? So basically, somebody who you're talking about, you'd have to really like the research and does how fast along does the appeals court run? Is there a delay like there is in the circuit court system? Not that there's I mean, people do their best.
Well, I don't think that today, there's any great delay in cases in the Circuit Court of Cook County. It moves very rapidly under Chief Judge Evans. He's done a marvelous job in moving cases and backlogs. And there's literally no great backlog in the appellate court. Now, there are times when lawyers are not ready on a case, and under those circumstances, a case will linger for a while, and the same thing will happen in the appellate court, where there's extensions are made for the filing of briefs, and a case will take a little bit longer. But the judges who sit there are ready and working every day and up to date on the cases that are ready.
Interesting. Now, so there's no such thing as a jury, anything like that,
No.
and it's basically research and the decision. What kind of cases go to the appellate court? I mean, is there like a predominant category? Is there, is it civil stuff? Is it criminal stuff?
Well, I'd say the majority of the cases, and probably well over 60%, maybe even 70%, are criminal cases. The balance would be civil cases, but the appellate court also hears, appeals on administrative review cases and things of that nature. The Human Rights Commissions and other commissions that make decisions, the appeals go sometimes directly to the appellate court.
Interesting. And how often does the appellate court were actually to be appealed itself, that would go to the Supreme Court?
That would go to the Supreme Court.
Well, the Illinois Supreme Court, I should say, I guess.
That's correct.
And what percentage of cases that go to the appellate court, do you know it all? Or
Oh, sure.
Actually wind up in the Illinois Supreme Court?
I would say something in the area around 6% of the cases in the Illinois appellate court will end up in the Illinois Supreme Court.
So it means about 1 in 16 or 1 in 17. That sounds like a pretty good batting average.
It is. It is.
So yeah, if you're a goaltender and you're blocking 94% of your shots, you're doing pretty good. Let me ask you too, because a lot of people tell me, like, talk about, your importance as a Jewish judge also in the Decalogue Society, and they honored you this year. And actually, I wanted to have you on before you were honored, but your grandchild was in a play that day. And listen, I appreciate the fact that family should always come first.
Well, it has to. It has to.
So, tell us a little bit about the Decalogue Society.
Well, the Decalogue Society of Lawyers is the oldest Jewish bar association. Now, all members are not Jewish, because anyone could become a member who happens to be a lawyer. And there are many people who are not of the Jewish faith who are members of the Decalogue Society, but it started out as a Jewish bar association, and it is the oldest Jewish bar association in the nation.
Wow. And how many members do they have approximately?
I would say somewhere between 1,500 and 1,700 members.
Wow, that's pretty healthy. Or I should say hi to my friend Michael Strom, who's the president this year. That's a rotating job. And in fact, I've known another number of the other presidents. Have you been president?
No, I have not.
But you have been honored about 3 times.
Yeah, yes, I have.
So that sounds good to me.
I've been lucky in that regard.
No, that sounds good. So, any thoughts of running for the Illinois Supreme Court at some time? Or?
No. I'm happy just doing my job in the Illinois Appellate Court. It's a wonderful experience, and you're very blessed to be able to get there, and I'm just happy to be there, and it's just a wonderful job, and I enjoy it, and I work very hard in getting out my opinions, as all the other justices do, and we have a very good court today.
That sounds good. Are these panels of 4, like the 6 different panels of 4?
Well, but only 3 sit and hear a case.
Right, now, are those permanent panels? In other words,
no. Every September, one person leaves and another one comes on.
So that way you get some variety.
Yes,
and
we get
mix-
variety, and people, have different groups in which they work with. And, it's interesting because you have to discuss cases. After we hear an oral argument, we have an impression conference and we discuss the case. We all work on the case before the oral argument so we know what it's about when we're hearing the arguments of the lawyers.
Oh, that's interesting. And so that means over the course of time, so if you're with somebody, let's say in 2010, you probably won't get them back. If somebody leaves that panel, they're not going to come back the next year or something. You'll continually get a fresh...
Well, it'll be a fresh panel, but it will rotate and people will come back.
Interesting. Anyway, I always learn, the more I interview people, the more I learn, and I want to thank you very much for educating me today and educating our audience. I should thank you for the audience first. I want to thank you very much, Judge Robert Gordon. So good to have you.
And thank you again for having me.
And want to say hi to your wife who accompanied you. I want to thank my entire technical crew, Sonny Hirsch. I want to ask all of you to tune in every week. We're on in Chicago Thursday at 7:30, Friday at 2:30 on Channel 19. And Evanston, we're on Tuesdays at 10 p.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Channel 6. And we're on Mondays at 6 in 35 or more north and northwest suburbs. We're on AT&T Uverse there in Evanston, Channel 99. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you again, Judge Gordon. And why am I saying all this in the first segment of the show? On to the second segment. Bye, everybody.